I'll admit it. I used to watch Thought Slime. I did a few years ago, back when I was a leftist, back when I just wanted some things to believe in and I wanted some things to fight for. I saw the wars and I saw how the conditions of working class in America were deteriorating. I saw all this and I wanted something to fight for. I wanted something to believe in. And so I tuned into channels like Thought Slime here. And this is my problem with Thought Slime. Now, just look at the content of these videos. Look at the content of these videos. And I've watched enough Thought Slime to know what these videos are going to be like. So I don't even have to click on them. But look at this. Trans issues. Okay, I understand trans issues matter to some people. It's not that there's nothing to it. This is an ongoing cultural debate. People are taking different sides. I understand that. The problem is that you're going to have your trans rights on a sinking ship. You are going to have your trans rights in a country that has no more power, no more sovereignty, no more anything. You're gonna have your trans rights. You're fixated on these social issues that are not going to solve the most fundamental problems of society. And when you ignore those problems and even attack people like Caleb Maupin, right? Even attack people that have more practical solutions to these things that can unite Americans on a common basis. Now, Thought Slime is Canadian, right? But these issues can unite Americans on a common basis. And Thought Slime wants to divide Americans rather than unite them. He wants to divide them along the issues like trans and gay issues. And he doesn't want to unite Americans with practical economic solutions. He hardly ever talks about war. He's fixated on critiquing fiction, this sort of critical theory, which is a fake form of Marxism coming from the Frankfurt School, except for he has a very watered down and non-intellectual version of it, which is slop for his viewers, slop for the masses. We need meat, and Thought Slime is like eating gummy worms and pudding. That's what Thought Slime is like. And look at this content. Look at this content, right? It's talking about drugs. It's saying hard work is bad. We're going to need hard work. I'm telling you, we're going to need hard work. Before things get easier, they're going to get harder, and you are going to be working hard. And hopefully, this hard work is no longer going to be like you're a barista or something like that. Hopefully, this hard work is going to actually be productive, and America will become a more productive country. But this is not going to be easy, and we can't just chill out and just watch fiction and think, ooh, that part of that movie seemed a little problematic, right? No, that's not going to get you anywhere. That literally does nothing for you. That's like intellectual, everybody's just agreeing with each other, and you have this social consensus, right? You've created a social sphere where cultural critiques have value in this social sphere, and you're contributing to this social sphere of leftists who love to just talk about every little problematic thing in every little movie and TV show, and you're the granddaddy of saying, oh, well, I think this was bad because of this and that. Well, guess what? Fiction is not your utopian leftist fantasy, dumbass. Fiction is a reflection of reality. So if you really have a problem with something in fiction, maybe you should actually look at reality instead. But that's neither here nor there, because the realities that are being focused on have nothing to do with class or anti-imperialism. Thought Slime hardly ever talks about these things. His view on class is essentially that work sucks, which is sure relatable, but that's not an analysis that's going to get you anywhere. And his analysis of anti-imperialism is that war is bad. But also anti-imperialists like Caleb Maupin and CPI, of course, we have to attack them. We have to attack them. Of course, they're evil. Of course, they're evil. The people whose main central focus is economic reconstruction and anti-imperialism, those people, of course, are a huge problem. But you Thought Slime, who gets your views from talking about fiction and from making fun of people on the right wing, which does nothing other than divide people, other than show that you have no respect for a large amount of people who, many of whom are economically disaffected, right? You want to disrespect them and you want to divide them and you want to reinforce the leftist culture, which is separate from the common culture, the insular leftist sphere, which is separate from the common culture. And even if you get all of these things you talk about, trans rights, and even if everybody is made aware about ADHD and autism and all of this, it's still not going to get us to a place that we need to be, because we are on the brink of World War III, and all you want to talk about is Spider-Man and the green M&M and, maybe the Black Mermaid. I mean, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. And the fact that so many people watch is disturbing to me, because many of the people watching are not watching just because they want to see somebody talk about entertainment or they want to learn about the new thing that happened. Many of these people are watching because they think that by watching this, they are promoting an anarcho-communist idea. Let me explain. So, in the few instances where Thought Slime actually talks about his politics, actually talks about the practical solutions, he takes an individualist, anarcho-communist approach to politics based on Kropotkin. And Kropotkin is a much better speaker than Thought Slime, much, much more convincing, but they're both operating on a similar philosophy, which is that by simply spreading this idea and getting everybody to agree voluntarily that we are all going to create a better society. This idea that we can get our material reproduction of human life horizontally, by building up societies of solidarity or mutual agreement, as they may call it, right? This notion that we can simply voluntarily decide, I will no longer work for a capitalist. Well, it's not true. You cannot voluntarily decide that. In fact, the wage laborer, by definition, cannot acquire savings over time. I mean, you can if you try. You can actually save money, but you cannot acquire capital. And the point is that building a new horizontal society, it's not going to just work. It's not going to just happen, and especially not if you're someone like Thought Slime, who instead of devoting effort to teaching people how to build alternative economic systems, right? Instead of devoting effort to creating counter economics and dual powers, as these anarcho-communists would believe you have to do, he devotes his time to talking about how this guy is transphobic or this piece of fiction doesn't depict trans people accurately. He devotes his time to talking about things that are not actually going to achieve his political aims. He's not even serious about his own aims, and my suspicion is that if he was serious about anarcho-communism, he would learn soon enough that Lenin was right about it. He would learn that anarcho-communism is a dead end, and he would learn better. But the thing is, a lot of these people don't do this. Instead, they fetishize their ideas. They don't put them into practice. They don't learn anything. And they basically treat their ideology as a social in-group. And they treat it like it's debate class, and their assignment is to defend their ideology. They don't treat it like this is true because it's based on solid principles, it's defensible, or it's creating a positive and meaningful change. No, they treat it that it's true because if I say that it's not true, then all of the people that like me are going to stop liking me or agreeing with me, and, that's a problem, right? and this erroneous belief that these ideas will simply spread as a social contagion, a social consensus where everybody sees, oh, this is really a better way of doing things. That's not the case. We aren't going to simply agree. There's going to need to be a fusion of agreement and power, and that's how it works. Power alone can't win because people will reject it. Agreement alone can't win because though people may accept it, it won't achieve anything. And power creates agreement. The media is a form of power which creates a type of agreement. Now, Thought Slime has a huge platform, and I hope that if he sees this video that I'm making, he's going to realize how much power he has to actually get his audience to do things that are productive and positive, and to talk about things like the risk of nuclear World War III and the need for the West to pull out of its proxy wars in Ukraine. Hopefully, Thought Slime will actually change his content for the better, but I really doubt it. And the reason why I doubt it is because if he starts to say these things, a lot of his fans are going to go, oh, well, that's problematic. Oh, well, I don't like him anymore because, he's saying things that they're too divisive. They're too divisive. He's going to lose a big part of his income, his market share, his audience, and, it's not going to actually work out for him. So that is my problem with Thought Slime, and I really wish that Thought Slime would actually use his massive audience to build an alternative anarcho-communist power structure as he seems to want to do, rather than simply talking about things that don't really matter and playing the violin on a sinking ship rather than trying to get lifeboats. Hey, this is Hertz from Bismuth. Remember to like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, comment if you have something to add, maybe I missed something, and subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.